This week we're beginning a two-part project to update this 80s kitchen for a family that's a lot of fun.
Put my hands down and give a little shake and it just falls right off.
I've been helping homeowners improve their home for a lot of years. They think it's intimidating, but it actually can be a lot of fun.
And we're here to help. Dad's the expert, but I've learned a few things along the way.
Practical, realistic home improvement information is what today's homeowner is all about.
This house belongs to Lloyd and Amy Myers.
We have been married for 13 years.
Wonderful years.
Wonderful years. And we have two kids, Landon and Caroline.
Yeah. And Caroline is 10, and then Landon is 7, about to be 8. Oh, is that how it goes? We love our neighborhood. It's very kid-friendly, and we love the size of our house. It's perfect for our family. You have homework?
I think I do.
There are some things that obviously I would like to change. The kitchen is dated. It's a 1980s kitchen. It's really mustardy.
We like mustard on our hot dogs, but not on the walls.
Maybe a lighter color would be nice.
Maybe a little, pickles, relish, something like that. Nothing?
See, I told you they were fun, but they weren't kidding about the mustard-colored walls. And there's a lot more to tackle in this 80s kitchen, so we'll need 2 episodes to complete this project.
Can you tell this kitchen was made in the 80s?
It reminded me of 1984. What a good year that was.
It's very all one color, really.
Yeah. What about the cabinets? These actually look pretty good. I mean, are you thinking of any changes there?
We thought about painting them and everything, but after really looking at them, they really look nice and they've held up over time. So maybe just some really updating the hardware, or maybe touch up little scratches.
Okay, and then that, I guess we call it like a galley rail or a captain's rail up there. Is that something you want to keep?
You usually see something that really has to go.
Yes.
The little galley rail shelf thing there, that's got to go.
That one's number 1 on the list.
Yeah. It's funny how much of a difference something like that can make by removing it, just opening up the space.
Yeah.
It'll just feel larger just by removing that one piece there.
Oh yeah. Oh,
I didn't even know what the purpose was, really.
Yeah.
Have we thought about lighting too? I mean.
Yeah, what about lighting?
He likes the light fixture over the kitchen table. I do not.
Chelsea? No?
Well, that's so much of a personal preference.
Feels like Lloyd's setting us up with this chandelier. What are we supposed to say?
I couldn't tell, and you know how we have to be a little diplomatic when
we don't
see
want to,
light fixtures, wallpaper.
We're going to get rid of it.
Okay,
there you go.
Okay, that looks awful. It just looks awful.
It's not going to work. It's out of here.
Well, it's just a little dated, right? And then,
Yeah.
of course, this is dated. I think if you watch 80s movies and you see the lighting in their kitchens, that's kind of like our lighting fixtures.
Nostalgia. It's like an 80s nostalgia.
Yeah, so we're trying to move out of the 80s and into the 2000s. It would be nice if we had those, what do you call those lights in the ceilings? Can lights.
Cam lights, yeah.
Amy uses the ceiling fan in her kitchen every day, so we're going to rearrange it and put it centered in the cooking area.
Okay, so I'm not the best cook, right? Lloyd is the cook. I do tend to burn things, and the fan is very helpful. And our kids know when I'm cooking, even simple as pizza.
They love your food.
Right. They have to love me.
Now, what about these countertops?
We both talked about it and seeing something more of a darker color, almost like a black or something that makes it, give it that a little bit of a pop, but it also brings it more up to date.
Well, there's some amazing coatings that we can put on this that can change it, drastically.
I didn't know you could do a coating.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Even on laminate like this.
That's even better.
Works out really well. Now, I see you have some backsplash. Tell us about that.
So we have backsplash over the stove, and they did it over the kitchen sink, and it was very interesting that they just didn't go completely around the kitchen.
Yeah, and it also like cuts off on some outlets too, so it's like a half an outlet because the backsplash is right there, and so it's very odd.
Have you started looking at paint colors?
No.
Wow, that's a lot. There's a lot of them out there.
Yes, I get a little nervous.
These reusable sticker swatches are perfect for trying out new paint colors because you can move them around the room to make sure the paint color you've selected is the right one for your space. What makes you happy?
What makes
Brings
me happy?
you joy?
Oh gosh. My initial reaction was like, oh, cool, right? Like we could definitely do a lighter gray or something kind of closer to white, but not necessarily white. But then Lloyd, of course, takes a different approach. You like that one?
Just because of the name?
So he picks based on the name of the paint color. I actually look at the paint color, but I think it worked out because the ones that you really liked, I really liked.
Right.
November Rain,
November
right?
Rain.
November Rain? You sure you're not thinking of Purple Rain?
No. Guns N' Roses. We paint like in the cold November rain. Little Axel.
Oh my God.
I can put all of these ideas together in a mood board, and then y'all can see what everything looks like together. I think it's gonna make a big difference.
That sounds awesome.
I do this all the time, but it is still so helpful to see all the different individual elements you've selected for your room in one space, whether it's electronic or otherwise.
I'm gluing this plywood panel down to a wooden frame that's underneath it. And because I have it set up on the corner of my workbench, it's very easy to clamp the three of the corners. But what about this outside corner? What do I do about that? I don't have a clamp long enough to reach from the edge of the workbench, but I don't need one because I'm going to clamp it down with simply a scrap of wood. And you just position it at about a 45-degree angle so it overlaps the workpiece there, right on the corner. We're going to set in some screws. These are just 3-inch drywall screws. I'm just going to drive them in right to the workbench. Now you don't want to drive one in all the way because it'll pull up the wooden strap. Tighten the first one, then tighten the second one. Then go back and tighten the first one. Do a little at a time. And once those pulled tight, just like that, look at that, rock solid. By driving in those screws, it pulls that piece of wood down, and that's fully clamped. Now you just have to wait for the glue to dry.
Simple Solutions is brought to you by Tight Bond, the pro's advantage.
Coming up, an unwelcome surprise.
Whoa. Oh, what do we do?
Lloyd and Amy's kitchen is stuck in the 80s, but before we can update it, we have to clear everything out, including some interesting glassware.
I thought it was a great gift. Well, I don't know where to put my hand sometimes when I'm drinking. So we just put it up on the shelf.
What family member did that come from? Doesn't look like grandma's.
We can find another place for that.
I just can't wait to list the chandelier on the marketplace.
I'm not putting that under my name.
I think we could get a lot of money if we get Danny to sign it. All I'm gonna say is it's Danny Lipford approved. He really liked this, but Chelsea made us get rid of it.
You know, one thing I've learned about cabinet guys, when they're installing cabinets, no matter what they're installing it well with long screws, even a simple little shelf.
They never thought anyone would want to take that lovely shelf down.
There it is. Look at the
go.
blue wallpaper.
And of course, it's not unusual to take anything off a wall and find that dreaded grandma wallpaper back there.
Oh, look at that wallpaper.
Ooh, I like it. Let's go back. I kind of like it. It's like a little time capsule. It just kind of throws you back to what the kitchen used to look like.
Right, I know it. Wow. Look.
I'm glad it's just a little bit that we had to remove.
Yeah.
The tile coming off.
Oh, wow.
Look at that. It was such a relief, but then like the wall was coming off. Oh, what do we do?
This is the scary part of a renovation where things are happening that you didn't plan for.
I was just really fearful that it was going to be a bigger problem.
But the good news is this drywall is really easy to replace, and then we'll be able to tile right over it.
There you go.
Woo, that's a big old beast.
Holy cow, look at that.
You mean your screws loose?
He's got a screw loose.
For sure.
When the host says you have a screw loose, maybe he knows you a little bit too well by now.
Oh, a little more popcorn for you. Who's the popcorn specialist?
That would be me. We knew we wanted the popcorn ceiling to be gone.
So you're an old pro at this, are you?
Yeah, I'm getting to where I've done this a couple times. A couple weeks ago, I was so excited about the show, I decided I was just gonna take it off myself. I did have a question for you. There's the plastic and the metal. Which one do you prefer?
I would use metal.
The metal?
But a lot of times the pros will sand off the corners of those things like that.
Right.
To where they're rounded.
The scraping the popcorn is not so much the hard work, it's more of just the mess it makes. I notice the popcorn gets on me. And when it gets on me, I don't want to like wipe it because it's gonna smear all over. So all I do is I just put my hands down and give a little shake and it just falls right off.
That disturbed me a little
That's
bit.
something you can't unsee.
Oh. You know, I've removed entire walls of wallpaper quicker than we were able to remove that one little strip. I don't know what Grandma did to that.
It was there to stay.
Will our kids ever notice the problems we go through when it comes to peeling wallpaper? I hope not. I hope no one ever puts wallpaper up again, because the process of peeling it off is just not a fun process. Don't put wallpaper on the walls. Just a nice paint is good.
See, when we're working on things, I want to see some progress. Scraping wallpaper, I just wasn't feeling it.
Well, Lloyd was feeling the chair rail. He wanted to be part of that action.
He did, didn't he? Anything I was doing, he wanted to do.
He loves you so much.
So I'm noticing right now that I'm doing the tedious work, the cleanup and everything else. Wait, safety first, safety first. They're gonna interview us later and say, hey, so what did you do on the project? I swept. I did a pretty good job of sweeping.
One thing that he kept bragging to his friends about is like all the power tools. I get to use all of this stuff. And then kind of coming in, it's like, well, here's a broom, you can start sweeping.
And you watch these home improvement shows and you're wondering, when do I get my hands on one of those power tools?
And so I think that's why he was really like over helping, to show him that he is really committed. He wants to use those power tools.
While Chelsea replaces the drywall around the window, I'm applying joint compound to the other areas that need repair. And then you're just spreading it out. Best thing to do is just go all the way down the line. All you're doing, there's just a slight indentation. So you're just filling that one little hole in there with a little extra. It's just like a coconut cream pie. You just put it on there, just like the icing. Then we'll come back and we'll skin it out.
Okay.
Once you get the hang of it, let's hope the speed kind of picks up a little bit.
Yeah, I don't want to screw it up, you know?
You're doing great. You can't screw it up. Well, you could.
We're taking the cabinet doors off of the boxes so that we can clean them up really well, repair any scratches, and give them a fresh coat of polyurethane before we put brand new hardware on top.
You know, I enjoy doing plumbing projects, but some homeowners out there don't want to tackle it, especially if you're putting in a new sink and you got to deal with your P-trap, because you can see you've got all of these pieces to make your connection. And the P-trap is really important because you want water to sit down in this curve here because it keeps the sewer gases from getting up into your house. So there is a better solution, and Dan's got it for us, right, Dan?
Yes, we do. An easier solution is called Simple Drain. It is a flexible pipe to install, no tools needed.
I love it. So this is the drain line. So all you have to do is connect it at the tailpiece that's coming down underneath the sink, and then this will feed into the wall, into your drain line. Now what I like about this is you do have the flexibility to get it connected, and then all you got to do is take this piece right here to create your P-trap, and you are good to go. I love this. It's a good solution, Dan.
This Best New Product segment is brought to you by the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
After the break.
You're doing a great job even cleaning them right here.
Cleaning.
Lighting will play a big part in the update of Lloyd and Amy's 80s kitchen, so it's important that we get the layout for the new fixtures just right.
We have a lot of lighting going into this kitchen with a chandelier, pendants, can lights. We want to make sure that we lay it out and that they'll look good once they're all in place.
Have y'all seen these things before?
No.
Check this
All
out.
new to us.
All right, so instead of the old days where you'd have the big recessed can that would stick up in the attic, this is all there is to it. The LED we're using is a new design we found at the Home Depot.
There is a new product on the market. It is a big improvement for installation over the traditional can light. It's very small, it's LED, it doesn't put out very much heat. You can basically cut a small hole, attach the wires, and push the unit up in the ceiling, and you're done. It's a lot quicker, a lot safer, and probably a lot brighter than the original can light.
You know, it's not just the LED light being so clever, the design around it is pretty neat. I mean, it's completely changed everything to do with recessed lighting.
And then you just slide the light right into place.
Clips right in place, boom.
That's really cool.
Yeah,
That's it?
and all we have to do is figure out the sequence on this, and you guys still want the ceiling fan?
Yes.
Okay, so we'll put the ceiling fan there. You just need to decide on what you think about this.
I would think closer to the cabinet so it illuminates the countertops. And then Lloyd goes in the attic and does the hot work.
That was it.
I thought we were going to get the coin.
No,
We're not flipping this
flipped
time?
earlier, you lost.
While we fine-tune the lighting layout, Lloyd and Amy are preparing the cabinet doors for a fresh coat of polyurethane.
How do you think it's going so far, hon?
Yeah, I think it's going great. Learning some different things from...
Like how to sweep? Lloyd is a really great cleaner. And I think Danny and I think Chelsea really caught on to that. So instead of the power tools, which I loved, he did all the cleaning, and it still looks great.
Yes, it looks great, you know. You know, I'm ready for the power tools. I'm ready for like some drilling, you know. Lloyd the tool man Myers just getting out there.
You're doing a great job even cleaning right
here. Cleaning. It's just the cleaning all the time.
Your sweeping abilities, it's like with the shake. I mean, it's awesome.
I don't know. I wanted more power tool. I wanted that grunt, you know, like let's
You can do that while you sweep. I'm sweeping.
Thinking after all this, maybe I'll start my own maid service.
Okay, I think it's finally time to turn Lloyd loose with some tools. So we need some holes drilled.
And
we're taking you off the cleaning duty for just a little while.
It's a power tool. The clouds have finally separated, the sun is shining through, and Danny has blessed me with a power tool.
But now this is going to create a good bit of dust.
Okay.
So someone will need to catch the dust.
Yes. This is awesome.
Just want you to know we got a lot of confidence in you. There you go. Great job. Excellent job.
Power tools. Gotta love it.
Lloyd's next tool is a drywall saw to install a pancake box for the pendants.
I have to make bigger holes for the pancake boxes, and I'm sawing it out. Now, it's not as fun as the power tool, but, you know, we came across a stud. There is something there. Now, I can keep going. I'll saw right through it. Of course, there's all kinds of studs in the room, so.
Maybe a joist running through there, which is perfectly fine. Turn it sideways a little bit more, the areas that you couldn't get through. Good job.
While I'm doing this, we might need some cleaning. Do you mind taking a rag?
You know, I think the electrical work on this whole project is going to be pretty simple. All we have to do is kind of piggyback off of the one.
Add to it.
To add all of the other LEDs.
Okay.
Make sense, and they'll all be contained within that kitchen.
Okay, but someone's got to go in the attic to do that.
I know it.
Don't you let your big foot come down through the ceiling. Got enough drywall work to do.
So, off to the attic we go, and it is dark up there, and it is cramped. You're going through all this thick insulation, and you're trying to find a hole that's maybe 3 inches big and a cord's coming through.
The other wire, push it down through here.
But we got those wires through.
Lloyd and Amy's kitchen is seriously stuck in the 80s, so finishing the update will require another whole episode. We've removed the dated galley rail shelf, Lloyd's lovely chandelier, and the piecemeal backsplash. We got rid of the fluorescent light, some popcorn ceiling texture, and Grandma's wallpaper as well. Plus all the damaged drywall is repaired, and we pulled the wire for our brand new recessed light fixtures. And Lloyd finally got his hands on some power tools, but there's a lot more to come. New paint to cover the mustard walls, a new backsplash, completing the lighting installation, and a cool coating for the countertops.
So far, so good. A little nervous?
I'm still a little nervous. I just don't know. We have holes, and I'm like, is something gonna fall through? I don't know. is there going to be enough lighting? Is there going to be enough time? I mean, that's
You'll have to stay tuned to find out.
You know, I can tell already this is going to be a great looking kitchen, but we've got a lot of work to go in order to finish this. We didn't want to cram it all into one episode, so we're going to do 2 episodes, and I hope you'll join Chelsea and me next week here on Today's Homeowner when we wrap it all up. We'll see you then.
Not bad.
This is going to be a great...
Is now the time I give you a hug for the candy?
No, not yet, not yet.
Let's hit the bloopers.
Right here on Today's Homeowner next week. Oh, I must have slipped.